Welcome back. In this video we are going to continue with the variable resolution, but before we do that I want to update the testing framework a little bit, and I'm actually going to do that off screen because it's kind of incidental and not that interesting, but we'll go over the changes once I'm done. But actually before I do that, let's get the thing to compile. So we need this resolve method, which I've now added and added to do, and now we are getting some nice warnings and actually also an error. So let's start with the warnings. That should handle those. Then we go to the resolver, and yeah, we don't use any of these. So at this point, so let's run cargo check. Again, we don't use those. And now for the error. Move occurs because it's this type. So we can, I think, get around it. Well, can we do this? Yes. Okay, and now I'll actually do the test framework. Okay, so before I go too far with this, I just want to note that a couple of errors have sneaked in, or the tests have started failing. So let's look at interpret while, and it is panicking down here where it's complaining that it doesn't have 3 lines. Let's try this. It still fails. So let's check. It's called while. Okay. While a that is very weird. So let me see here. Okay. Can I just do output like that? It's printing. Is that actually correct? No, it should print. That is very weird. Huh. So it looks like somewhere we are printing. Let's look at the statement and let's try to find. Try to find this. That never happens. Because I'm in the wrong folder. Just for good measure. Actually, I'm suspecting that it's printing this somewhere. Let's do this instead. Okay, so let's check this one first. There's only in the test. Oh, no, it's not there. Let's do that. Okay, same issue. So this one, we can just come back in. Now let's take the interpreter. And that's the problem. Let's run the tests. Now they are all okay, except for this one, which I'm working on right now. So I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, so here's the basic framework. I now will have a main test function called execute tests. It will look in this folder and get all the files. And then the idea is that we will call this run test function on all the cases. Right now I'm just doing it on one because the rest are not formatted correctly. Now this run test function will read the contents of this test file, and then it will get all the lines. And the test files, they now look like this. The idea is they look like this. Where you will have some test code and another section with the expected output to standard out. So then I just have a very, very simple parser that loops through all the lines and pushes the lines to test code vector and also an expected output vector. And then we will run the interpreter. Now to do this, I actually added a new helper function, or new function called runString, which just takes some string input. So for example, we can do things like this, kind of similar to what you can do in Python, where you just write the code directly in the terminal. And that's helpful for this test code, so we don't have to write a temporary file or something. Anyway, and also the main function is updated, so if we look here, if number of arguments is 2, then we run the file. If it's 3 and the first one is E, which is kind of like what I used to indicate that we should execute, then we take the second argument and run that. If it's only 1, we start the interpreter, and anything else we report an error. So we do that, and we run that command, And then we assert that either the expected output and the lines have the same length, or they differ by 1 in this way, because this has the output from the running the interpreter has like this extra line at the end, empty line. And then I loop over all the expected outputs, and I check that they're actually what you get. So now the idea is that we can do this and remove all of that, and then we can just run cargo test with one thing, and it will run all the tests. So actually we should add some error handling. So we will say, actually, if not this, then we return an error that says, we give the test case, and then we say output length does not match expected output. Expected output. And we want the file let's say file name, I think we can say. And we'll do the same here. We'll say if this one does not equal that one, we will return an error that says file name again, and we will simply say that one doesn't equal that one. And maybe we will say full output as well. I think it would be useful. Okay, so we have file name. We have lines I does not equal expected. And we have the full output. Let's say expected output join with new lines. And if all that works, we just return OK. Let's format. And up here we will say we get some, we look for errors, and we will say match this thing with OK. We will just do nothing like that. If it's an error with some message, we will push it here. And finally, if this is not 0, then we will panic with errors, probably a couple of new lines, and then errors.join, and we'll also do 2 new lines here just because we can. So now we should get like huge. Okay, so that didn't work because this probably has to be formatted like that. And we cannot format that with, it's a bit annoying. What if we just say path That one we can just go display on. It didn't complain down here, which also uses file name. Because I called cargo. It's called cargo test. Okay. Let's try this for now. Just don't want to mess around with this too much. It's quite slow. Do something else. Just do this for now. So cargo T, no capture. Funny. I mean, it could be that this. No, I mean, I really hope that's not it. I was just thinking that maybe this. Well, no. Yeah, just report some errors, which is good. Well, these errors are not good, but. It's not getting stuck in some loop. I wonder why it's so slow. Let's try to just break. Run it here, and it will say fun mos local blah blah. So now we can go fix this. And what should it print? It should print 3. Run it again. And okay, that's a bit annoying that we have these files with the tilde. Which happens because Emacs uses that for backup. So let's say if case.path contains, I hope we can do this. Probably not. No. Okay, here's a silly way to solve it. So we just take the path, and then we have to call the formatter on it to turn it in just, I mean, maybe we can just do this. Think about that. Okay, so that's good enough. Okay, so now we check this one. This is very interesting. Why the expected output should actually be because it doesn't have it. Let's go back into that, remove that so we don't change it. Huh. Right, so... Okay. Let's put it as... It has to be a U size. Let's put it as a none, and then we'll do some here. And then we will say... It's a bit of a trick, maybe. You unwrap it. No expected output. Well, no, we need no expected section, test case definition. Now it will fail with that. But that is not good enough either, because we want to know which test case it was. Gave an issue. So file, display. Okay, panicked at while the JLog is not expected. Okay, great. So we will write test, we will write expected, and we will write 10, run it again. Now it's a different one that fails. So I'm gonna go through all the test cases and do this, update them to the new format. Another thing we need to do is, if you look here, it says 90 doesn't equal 90, and that is because there might be white space. So I'm going to trim that. Can we do that? Yes, that works. Okay, back to updating test cases. Okay, and there we have it. Now all the tests are updated and they actually pass and they run in a reasonable amount of time. I have no idea why it was so slow before, but let's not think about that. So now we can move the old tests, and now it should be super easy to add new test cases. So actually I think I'm gonna take a break now, and that means it will be the end of this video, and then in the next video we will look at this. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you next time.